There's a fish right below us. What are we doing? We have no lines in. What kind of fishing podcast is this?
Oh, shit. Trout. We're starting to do this pod over here. Run the line out, going to the mono, and then I feel something tug. And we're on Lake Michigan right now. I'm starting to get a little seasick. Lake sick.
Medium size.
Okay.
Schmedium.
Medium, okay.
You want to hold them?
Yeah, I do.
Pot it up. Yeah, just chuck them.
Get in, Alex. Pump it, Alex. Pump it, Alex. Show him the mustache, Alex. Dog. Play it. I get it.
Whoa.
I'm sick. Per usual, are we surprised over here? Not seasick, I'm lake sick.
1-2 hooked up on a lake trout on the downrigger. This one came out of 82 feet of water. My co-pilot is experiencing some nausea right now. We've been out here for, oh, another fish, another fish. Double up. Grab that rod.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna just puke on the side.
Trout in the boat. Holy moly. Get him up for you guys. Don't want to get his greasy mouth all over the place. Nice one.
Alex, you're gonna have to take this.
Fish number 2. Back in the water it goes. Oh yeah, there's a fish on here.
I'm gonna throw up.
Already? It's like, there's not even a foot waves out here. It's beautiful.
Alex.
Deep breathing, trust me.
Alex.
Ready?
Alex, I stood up and then it's about over. Just gonna look at the horizon. Ooh, had some bile come up. Some acidity's in my throat.
I still got a fish on. This is on the copper. This is the worst rod. Oh, he's up. There he is.
Another one? Another trout?
There we go.
Yeah! All right,
Another one
nice
in the
glance.
boat.
Now I'm gonna face forward again. Oh, you're good at catching small fish.
Fish number 3.
Welcome back to Barstool Outdoors Lake Michigan style. This time we're going around and around on a podcast. I'm trying not to throw up. Alex Peric is back here. Fish is on. We're doing some trolling, podcasting.
Hey guys, welcome back. Yeah, we think it's a little bit bigger, this one. We're trolling a spoon using a downrigger in 90 foot of water. This is a big fish. I can't even gain on this thing. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, gorilla pig here.
A big one?
Absolute grease donkey. This thing's got so much flubber on her, she hasn't even seen the light of day in 3 months.
I really wish I could look back there.
Oh my goodness.
Is it a big one?
Giant.
Yeah, it's big.
Grease pig.
Grease pig, he's gonna have to net it himself, otherwise his co-captain will throw up on the side of the boat.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap!
Okay.
Throw me this GoPro, Sean. Let's get some up close and personal vids. Here we go. Let's cut to the trout right now. 3, 2, 1. Nice, dude. Biggest one of the day. The other ones were about 5, pushing maybe 10, one of them. Maybe, probably not. That's a nice sized fish. Whoa! Look at those colors too. You got those greens. Trout are really cool. This is a lake trout. Obviously, there's a lot of different types of species. These trout have little needles as teeth. They're predators. What else do you want to say about this, Alex?
I love the coloration on lake trout. I think they're just super beautiful fish, and I want to get her back real quick.
We should just make at this point, we should just make a freaking show. So much for the podcast. What do you
Oh,
got?
it's a steelhead! Steelhead!
Oh.
Giant steelhead!
Get in do you need the net?
Oh, he came off! No, he broke me off.
Are you kidding?
Wow, that's a huge bummer. Nice job. Where was my net?
I said you wanted the net, and then all of a sudden you said, no, it's gone, I broke it. So that's human error there, Alex.
Okay.
That would be human error.
Well, it's okay. Luckily, I have another one right here.
We're live. What's up?
Boom!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Barstool Outdoors with Sydnie Wells and Alex Peric. We are in Lake Michigan, and we are doing a very first podcast. Not inside, but
Outside.
yeah, so I'm with Alex. Alex has taught me actually a lot about fishing. We just went muskie fishing last week up in Lake St. Clair, Michigan. And today we are on Lake Michigan. This is like my third time out in the lake.
We have a chance at brown trout, rainbow trout, which are also known as steelhead. We have a chance at lake trout.
Yeah, so we're out here. We're feeling the vibes here, doing our first podcast together. We've been planning this for a while, but sometimes it's hard to film a podcast when all you have on your mind is fishing. So why not do both together?
Unfortunately, right now, though, we have no lines in the water because we've had some issues. We've been catching fish and unable to kind of get everything set up, which is not a bad problem to have. So right now, I think, you want to talk about the baits and then put the rods in the water and then get into other topics?
Because at this rate, if we would just kept fishing, we would probably not have a podcast to film.
So we had to take a break. We had to do this intro, and we had to really sit down and talk about things. But I really appreciate you having me on as your first official guest.
Yeah, guest, maybe co-host. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Ooh. But yeah, so we're out here on Lake Michigan. I'm a newbie when it comes to Lake Michigan. So I figured why not start us off with Alex explaining to us what kind of bait we're actually using, because I have a lot to learn. I'm sure some of these viewers that have watched, maybe you fish Lake Michigan a lot, maybe you don't, but there's always a room for more education in our lives. What's going on? What do you do?
I am sorry. I am marking fish, unfathomable amounts of fish on my screen right now, so I have to put this out. But okay, so you guys want to talk about baits a little bit. You want to talk about Lake Michigan fishing. I, by far, am no expert. I think age has a lot to do with fishing. The older you are, the more experience you have. I am 25 years old. I've been fishing Lake Michigan for about 10 years. Very hard, I'd say about 2 years. It's a very interesting body of water because it's so big. You look at Lake Michigan and you go, how do you go out there and catch fish? Well, the biggest thing is using trolling to your advantage, where you're able to cover lots of water. You're fishing over a giant basin. There's no rock shelves. There's no rock points. There's nothing out here. It's just a big, vast, open ocean pretty much. And that's where these different trolling setups that I'm about to talk about are going to come into play. The first rod, which I'm putting out, is copper line. Copper line sinks, so you don't need anything on your line. You literally just put a spoon. You want to show them a spoon?
Which is a spoon? Here's a spoon. I'll be your model here.
There you go. So you put one of those spoons on your line, you let it out, and you let your motor do all the work, which I'm going to do right now.
So when I was fishing Lake Michigan, up in Michigan actually, I was fishing with this guy who was mainly targeting king salmon. It was really interesting. So he had about 1,000 different spoons and this tackle box container. They were all organized by color, and I thought that was really unique because I've never seen something like this. I've never really fished for kings or anything in Lake Michigan before, being from Central Illinois. I haven't really wandered up here much until I moved up to Chicago. So these guys are pretty cool. They flash the different colors. I don't know really anything. It depends what time of the year it is for colors, or how do you guys determine on the colors?
In my experience, I like a lot of black and silver, and I'm basing my colors more on if you look at a color chart and you see what colors disappear at different depths, because below,
is it like clarity, kind of like bass fishing?
Below 30 feet of water, a lot of majority of your colors aren't even going to show up down there.
Yeah, okay.
It's just dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's more black, silver. Cohos love orange. Use an orange flasher for cohos. Not really sure why. I think it's just because cohos tend to be higher up in the water column, so that orange, they really see it. It reflects off the sun. I think a lot of, in my experience, Lake Michigan fishing is just going out, trying it out, and putting the time in of just being in the middle of nowhere.
Just kind of like any other fishing. You gotta actually practice or use different baits to know how to fish for them.
It doesn't just happen. You have to go out there, put some time in, put some music on your radio, have a good friend to come out here with, and enjoy some time. Some beers.
Some beers.
Lots of beers.
Yeah. So what else are we working with? So we talked about the spoons.
Right before we started this podcast, we actually had our first rainbow trout on the line, and that came on a flasher fly, which if you want to show them that thing right there.
Okay. I don't know anything about this.
So that orange.
I'm guessing this flashes.
Orange. I said orange.
This is the fly?
That's the fly, correct. That green thing with the silver laminate on there rotates in the water. That fly trails behind the flasher, and when a sunlight or when, even moonlight hits that, it gives a reflection in the water, which attracts the fish. So this is the attractor. That's the lure the fish are biting, and that's also a very, very effective way to catch king salmon and rainbow trout as well, and lake trout. They all love it. So would you say flashers are your favorite lure, or are musky bucktails your favorite lure?
Musky bucktail. Oh my gosh. I just wrote a blog about this because literally I don't know what I was expecting. Okay, to be quite frank, I think trolling's a little boring to me. I mean, it's always fun to reel in a fish because you don't know what you're gonna catch. Alex and I went up to Lake St. Clair up in Michigan, and that was my first time ever being there. We drove 5.5 hours. He's like, let's do it. We're gonna definitely see a muskie. I have faith. He's only fished it a couple times, but you already had some spots marked, right?
Yeah, when it comes to muskie on St. Clair, again, it's not a great lake, but it's kind of a great lake, and it's a big bowl. There's not a lot of features. So those key features you do see, those little humps and those river channels that come out off the Detroit River and off the St. Clair River, you could kind of mark these spots on a map without actually going out there and fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought I was a little bit better than I was because we didn't end up landing a muskie, but we saw a few.
So we went up there, and Alex, Mr. Tough Guy over here, brings his bow. He's all prepared. I'm like, okay, we're ready. Let's do it. I'm so pumped to get there. We have an afternoon, a full day, and a morning to fish. We get there 4 p.m. and Alex and I put the boat in, and the motor isn't pissing. Long story short, we end up taking it to a mechanic. Wait, what would you consider the boat guy? Not a mechanic. What would it be?
You're gonna have to give me a quick second. I'm setting up a downrigger.
Okay. Anyways,
It was North Bay Marina.
yeah.
The owner's name was David, and he services racing Mercuries. He's known as one of the best dealerships in Michigan for Mercury Marine service.
Yes, and he's awesome. So we tried to fix the motor ourselves. I didn't know what I was doing. We were going to Instagram for this. Somebody help us. Wait. What was it? What would you put on wrong? Why can I'm stumped.
Impropeller.
The impropeller. Yeah, you put it on wrong. But you watched a YouTube video, so you should probably give that guy 2 stars.
I sometimes think I'm overconfident in the small tasks that I can handle with myself, so I thought I would service my motor myself. And then on the impropeller, there's a key that latches onto the drive shaft of the prop.
We have a fish.
No. Oh, do we?
Watch it.
Oh yeah, we have a fish. One rod is out. We have a fish.
This is what we're talking about, being chaos. So I'll talk a little bit while Alex reels it in and I don't get sick. Because, fun fact, I get sick everywhere we go. Car rides, plane rides, on the boat, I'm sick. If you've never been seasick, it's kind of like a bad hangover, to be honest. And some people fight their hangover. It's a big fish.
Yeah. Another lake trout.
Another lake trout.
So the impropeller, what I was saying is I forgot to put a little piece on the drive shaft, which now I know. I think I could do it myself, but moral of the story is I learned a lot from David. I learned a lot about maintaining my engine, and the engine's back and running. We were able to fish 2 days on St. Clair.
I would say a day and a half.
We fished one afternoon and one morning.
Oh shoot, so one day.
One day.
I learned in that one day how much I actually really enjoy muskie fishing. Okay, if you're not a patient person and you go fishing for fun and have to catch something, don't go muskie fishing. That's all I gotta say. It's known to be the fish of 10,000 casts. I learned that from Alex. And we use a variety of baits. We use a topwater. What was my favorite one?
You were using a grenade, which is a new Muskie Innovations lure. It's like a jig with a 2 blades on the back, so it's kind of like a reverse bucktail.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But
it's a big bait.
It's a big bait. You were using a green and pink one, which is cool.
Yeah. It was pink and silver, I feel like, mostly.
Yeah, pink and silver, yeah.
Yeah. So that was definitely my favorite, mainly because I'm the only one during the trip that had the muskie chase after my bait. And after that experience, I never felt an adrenaline rush like that from a fish. Not even a bass. That was the coolest experience I've ever got to witness, ever. Unfortunately, the muskie didn't bite my bait. I also learned how to do the figure 8. I actually tweeted and I was like, okay, any tips and tricks? And every single person said figure 8 right at the boat. I had no idea what that meant. Asked Alex, learned it that same day, and essentially like you reel the bait all the way up and then you do a wide turn and then like a quick dive, a wide turn, a quick dive. Well, I did it super fast and the muskie never even saw the bait.
The fish like lost the bait in the figure 8, so it just like kind of swam down.
Yeah.
But you did have, I think it was the same fish twice.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was the same fish.
But you had 2 different fish follow you. I had 0 fish follow me.
It was the bait, I think.
For sure.
It was a good bait, yeah. Yeah, 2 different fish. Well, one fish followed it twice.
Baby.
And I think it's definitely the same fish because it was like within the next 2 seconds later.
So this is copper line, which means we have 200 yards of it out. So it takes a long time to reel it in.
At least it's not like a giant 50-pound fish. Could you imagine?
That would be insane.
That would suck. Yeah, so muskie fishing is now one of my biggest bucket lists. I have to catch a muskie. I told Alex we have to go muskie fishing. We need to go, like, I don't know, should we go back to St. Clair?
Depends what you want to do. You want to catch a big, I feel like our chances of catching like a really big muskie at St. Clair are there. But if you want to just catch a muskie, I got some other spots we could try.
Yeah, I just want to catch one because like even that smaller one, well, I guess it wasn't small, what, 30 some inches?
The one on the second day I think was like a 42, 43, but the one on the first day was about 35, 38.
Yeah, and I remember those guys were like, was it a big one? We had people fishing next to us cheering us on. They're like, nice circle, or
nice figure 8.
Figure 8. I'm like, okay. And at the same time, Alex says no. I say yeah. I'm like, oh shit. I don't musky fish often, but it was a big to me. And after that, like, I'm curious. Actually, we can clip this, Sean. Is if you're a musky fisherman, would you rather troll or rod and reel? Obviously, you probably have a better chance of catching a muskie trolling, but what do you think is more fun? Because I 110% would rather just cast and reel all day trying to catch a muskie and have it swim right up to the boat than troll. What do you think, Alex?
Oh, fish on the downrigger, fish on the downrigger. Take this, take
Okay,
this.
okay.
We have 2 lines out.
Oh.
Oh, he came off. Lost him.
So here I am. Everybody say a prayer that I don't throw up. Here we go. Here's the fish. You gonna get the net, Alex?
That.
It's a nice one. Woohoo! Nice trout. Check this guy
Oh, he
out.
popped off.
Oh, perfect timing. We're gonna probably throw this guy back, but they're coming from 200 feet. That's a nice one. There we go.
Woo! What I'm gonna do with this fish right now is immediately it's unhooked right away, back in, straight down. We have no lines in the water. I set the downrigger, set the copper rod, and just like that, first fish on the pod.
Heck yeah. No, that's sweet. That was pretty cool, huh?
I'm just looking at this weather to our left over here and
Oh,
wondering
shit.
what is going on over there.
So yeah, we've known each other for about 4 years. We've been fishing with each other a handful of times. Always kept in contact. I hadn't talked to you for like a year though. I felt like because you were a complete ghost, and I'm sure all your fans were like thinking the same thing. Alex was big on YouTube. Is still big on YouTube and all over socials. And then out of nowhere, I think like COVID hit, and you said "Hasta la vista," right? Or what happened? Give us a story. Give us some background. Tell us first who you are, what you've done. And then I'm curious and learn more.
Okay, I just got all those questions. I feel like there was a list of questions.
Yeah, so summarize.
I want to know, are you more intrigued by those questions, or should I put these lines in the water?
I'm intrigued with the questions.
Okay.
There's a lot. So I believe you dropped out of college when you were 19.
Correct. Dropped out of school when I was 19.
You went to Alabama?
Correct.
Okay, for what semester?
3 semesters.
Okay.
Dropped out my sophomore year. Was unable to finish my finals because I was going on a trip to go fishing. Due to the fact that I was just pursuing social media full time, things kind of got out of hand. Super hectic with trying to make videos every day. I was also, trying to start a bait company as well as starting YouTube channels with a couple of other people, and just I wanted to full send it into the social media space so that I could say that I tried. The only thing I regret kind of is using my name. You ever regret that?
Really? Why?
I feel like it's always cool on social media when you have like an alias.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Like, what would you, if you went back, what would you use? Well, you're AP Basson.
I know, but everybody knows me as Alex Peric. Like, they know me as my actual birth name.
Like, like my dad likes Lockmaster?
Yeah. Fishmaster 6'9" or something, something funny.
Fishmaster 6'9"? Oh my gosh, I think you should just stick to AP Basson.
Okay.
On Instagram, you deleted like all your pictures. Okay, so you literally, like, I think it was during COVID, didn't you, like, go ghost mode?
I went ghost mode.
Why? Were you, like, over the YouTube or what? You just need, like, a break?
I needed
Because, like, YouTube's a grind.
YouTube's a grind. I want to blame it as well as my prefrontal cortex kind of coming into play in my brain and just, like, maturing as an adult. I feel like I started to second-guess myself a lot, and I just wanted to be able to... Like, what is life without YouTube? For so long, all I thought about was making a YouTube video. How do I get these views? How do I get a paycheck from social media? And I wanted to change my mindset and kind of relax for a little bit. And that's kind of where ghost mode came from. I feel like a lot of creators sometimes ghost, and it's not because they're trying to abandon their fans. They're more taking a mental break themselves.
Yeah.
So.
No, I get it. So do you think you'll ever get back in the grind of it? I mean, obviously you're fishing all the time. Every time I talk to you, you're fishing.
I'm always fishing, not really catching, just out here putzing around on Lake Michigan.
Yeah, because you're always grinding. Like, I was just always curious. It's like if you're ever going to get back, like, or how about Instagram? Are you ever going to start posting again?
I haven't had Instagram on my phone in probably 6 months.
Like, yeah, you, like, deleted everything.
I deleted off my phone. The only social media I have on my phone right now is Twitter. Mostly to trade stocks and just read the... sentiment on the market, and there's a lot of smart people that are on Twitter that post their recaps on different aspects of the trading market, so I like to read that. But social media for me was just something that I was consuming too much and not producing enough on, so I just kind of had to delete it off my phone.
Yeah, you probably feel like less like stressed.
Yeah.
Like a little anxiety, like relief too. What
do
you think?
I don't really want to compare myself to others, so why would I want to look at what other people are doing?
Yeah.
But that's where it's weird, because that's what we do for a living, right? We're trying to produce content for people to watch, and I'm like, oh, I don't want people to know what I'm doing. It's kind of weird.
Well, no, that's like comes into play like where your personal life. Like I like to let my personal life be my personal life. You know what I mean? And not like put that out everywhere. I don't know.
For sure. I'm just gonna look at the radar real quick.
Yeah, that's a smart idea. I'm looking around it right now. We're starting to get consumed. Starting to get like super dark all around us. Okay, we're gonna have to take a quick intermission because it's about to pour down on us, and obviously we have this nice equipment that we don't want to get ruined. Oh, we're getting ready to get smoked with that.
Yeah, it's not a bad storm.
This is a horrible idea. Who wanted to do a podcast outdoors?
That was my idea.
Now we are soaking wet and freezing cold, but we're back at it. Will we get stormed on or struck by lightning? Who knows? Stay tuned. Hell, now everybody understands the hard part of actually trying to do content outside. Never goes as planned. I'm gonna definitely need help up. Guys, I'm stuck.
Sid.
Sean, I need you to put the camera down right now and help me out.
You're fine. Just hold on.
To get the pee off of me. Alex, I'm going under. Wait, hold on. Grab one hand. I need one hand.
All right, I'm not gonna.
Hold on. Here.
And I don't feel good now. I thought I was gonna die in there. Nobody cared. Wet and wild. Sean tried to pull me overboard. My boobs got stuck on the side of the boat.
I closed my eyes.
Nothing popped out, Sean. It was just like this. Tried to lift me up and it was like, "Bang." Okay, we're back. We had a temporary break with the rain in the forecast, which Alex said there was gonna be no rain. The SPF shirt is gone.
As the rain cloud approached, I was like, oh, it's not gonna rain, it's not gonna rain, it's not gonna rain. And then it started raining and I was like, it's still not gonna rain.
I'm like, Alex, it's getting ready to rain. You know, we got all this gear out here, but it's okay.
We got it all in. Hopefully everything still works.
Now there's sunshine and rainbows.
We also need a name for the podcast.
Yeah, I have no idea. Let's just like try to get this chaotic one down the chute for episode 1.
Are you trying to tell me that you don't think all of our podcasts will be
This would
chaotic?
be so chaotic.
But I think right now we got to get into juicy drama.
Okay. What is it? Let's hear it.
There's been some rumors out there. The number one topic whenever me and you get together.
Are we dating?
People want to know, are we dating?
That's for your own mind to figure out. No, we are not dating.
I like the other answer better than that one.
It's for you guys to find out yourselves. Should we stick to that plan?
You guys are going to have to figure it out on your own. We're out here, we're going to do some fishing, and we're going to continue to talk about our lives as social media influencers.
Or content creators. I like that word better.
I hate when people call me an influencer. It just makes me feel scummy.
An influencer?
Yeah.
I get confused with the term influencer and content creator. Because it's like pretty much the same, right?
I feel like an influencer, you're trying to influence people into buying stuff and influence them into like your way of life. Whereas a content creator, you're more showcasing what you like to do, and people are kind of just watching it as content rather than you're trying to influence somebody.
Okay, that's true. But would you consider us like an influencer if it's educational?
Yeah. Well, you're kind of the same. It's also kind of the same as well.
Yeah. So like we're content creators / influencers all in one.
All in one.
Yeah. So we're like a content influencer.
When you were 12 years old, dreaming up in grade school, was your dying wish? You were like, I want to be an influencer.
I would have been like, what?
What?
Ma'am?
What's an influencer?
I was like, I'm going to be an anesthesiologist.
Is that what your dream was?
I just wanted to make money. Kidding? I'm like little. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to do all this kind of stuff. Went to nursing school. Said, okay, this is horrible. Why did I choose this path? Okay, so let's talk about DMs.
Oh.
Should we talk about DMs? Okay, so...
What kind of DMs?
Well, I have some weird-ass DMs all the time.
I can't even... You?
Do you ever get weird DMs, though? Like, when you were, like, more active? Like, did you just get blown up with guys?
I mean, I got some, like, DMs, but I can't imagine being a girl and getting the DMs.
Dude, it's literally horrible. So I don't even, like, read my DMs anymore.
Yeah.
My comments, I just want to throw up. I'm like, why would you put a heart in a kissy face and be like, looking good, honey? I'm like, yeah, that really turned me on. I'm really wanting to message you back now.
Meanwhile, it's a 45-year-old dude with a wife and kids, and he's saying that?
That's the worst. I literally have to turn on, like, I posted a bikini picture. I was, like, kind of feeling myself. I was at the Ozarks with my friends. And I posted a picture, and I put my phone away, and I looked back, like, 30 minutes later, and there were so many disgusting, like, old men. Okay, so many creepers. And I'm like, okay, I'm turning my comments off. Pretty much, I'm so sick and tired of the Photoshop. That too, because some people are weird and Photoshop my body on things, and I want to die. But no, I'm so tired of people commenting weird things. So if you want to comment on my pictures, like, that's not gonna work. Don't be like, hot, you're so sexy with a bunch of roses. Just be like, I don't know. Don't do that. That's weird. I'm probably going to block you, actually. I've been blocking people who do that, so don't do that.
Yeah, nobody look at those. Nobody look at our DMs.
Talk about pictures, though. How about OnlyFans?
Yeah, OnlyFans. Are you thinking of signing up?
No, but we were talking about it on the way to Michigan, remember? I was like, holy crap. My girlfriend's from Barstool, Jordan, specifically, is making bank on it, and it's not even anything explicit. It's not crazy.
I know you say that, and my rebuttal is I feel like it's not gonna last.
Yeah, I wish I could do like an OnlyFans and post like just honey pictures, sneak peek of my big buck that I killed. But if anybody was like Sydnie Willis had an OnlyFans, they would immediately think nudes.
Yeah.
When it would just be me fully camoed out.
I
would look like an invisible head floating. Just be like me and my head.
If you want to do OnlyFans and you just did camo like hunting photos, it would be hilarious. I think it would be funny. I think the only thing you'd have to deal with is, like you said, like people assuming what that content is that you're posting on there.
Yeah.
But
whatever. To each their own.
To each their own. You got to make a living out here. If there's people willing to buy it, you might as well sell it.
Yeah, I'm like, Jordan, go get that bag.
Secure that bag.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous right now. Oh, my dreams are crushing. What did you want to do? Yeah, because what did you study in college?
I went into college with studying civil engineering, so I took like Civil Engineering 101, chemistry, calculus, that sort of thing, and I switched my major from civil engineering to business management, which was just me downplaying it because I didn't want to like take the hard chemistry and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
don't blame you.
I don't know. I've always wanted to build things. I feel like that's a lot of like boys' aspirations is building stuff. And
I feel like you're into like your different like investments, though. Like even like Googan, I mean your baits and stuff. I guess you could consider that building stuff. I don't know. I don't know how much you had like a hand in that.
yeah, I definitely had some help in building the products, but there was a lot of people on the teams that I would say had way more involvement than me per se. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like kind of doing my own thing, you know? Like when you have so many people working on certain projects, your ideas get washed out.
Yeah.
So
Do you like just like kind of disconnecting a little bit and being solo now?
I still talk to all the guys. I don't think there's any hard feelings there. I just, like I kind of briefly touched about in the past, I just want to do my own thing and kind of chill. Like I don't want the stress of having to, hey, you need to show up here and do this. You need to show up here and do this. Like I don't want a job. I don't want to get paid. I don't want any of that. I just want to be peace to do, hey, let's go fishing out on Lake Michigan today. Like that's what I like.
Yeah, I like that we live so close to each other now too. It's like so much fun being able to have a buddy up here. Because sometimes I'm in my apartment like, shit, like I don't have anybody to go fishing with.
Or shit, I don't have anybody to do on this Friday night. Let's go to Rivers Casino.
Oh my gosh. I like the Aurora Barstool Sportsbook Casino.
They have a Barstool Casino in Aurora?
Yeah,
Sick. We should definitely go.
yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, no, it's cool that we get to live close to each other in the Chicago suburbs. A lot of people shit on Chicago and they shit on this area, but it is so fun. There's the Great Lakes. There's so many people that live here. There's so many positives
Yeah,
about
so many people, honestly, like whenever I go to like trade shows or I go to different shows, people are like, how the heck do you live in Chicago? I'm like, okay, I don't live in Chicago. I live in the suburbs of Chicago, and I live in a nice area. Like I actually really like where we live because, I mean, Illinois sucks as a state, but there is so much to do up here. Like go out if we want to, hit up the Barstool Bar. One thing I really like about Chicago is I live next to a big airport now. At least to fly out of Peoria.
Yeah.
I mean, living in a small town was fun. Like, it has its perks. Like, I like being home and going to the farm and stuff. But then I'm like, okay, now what? That's why I like living up here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people also are like, oh, it gets too cold. I think seasons are awesome. Like, you're able to kind of reset, think about the spring. It makes spring bass fishing so much more enjoyable. It makes each kind of season you're looking forward to, oh, I could target this species during this time of year. I could target this species during this time of year. I can go hunting during this time of year.
Yeah, because you're up in Canada all the time and ice fishing.
Yeah.
See, you're ice fishing, and I'm like, heck that. I'm going to the tree stand. So, like, that's where we're, like, opposites.
Different bubbles.
Yeah, totally. Definitely different bubbles. You definitely know a lot more about fishing than I do. I know a lot more hunting than you do.
I am so bad at hunting. Even though this shirt would say differently.
Yeah, what the heck? Alex comes out. I, like, walk out of the truck. He's wearing a camo shirt. Trying to fit into the vibe, I think.
Always trying to fit in.
No, yeah, so you're going to, what, are you going to go back to Canada this winter? Ice fish?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to make it back to Canada. It's one of my favorite places to go when it comes to fishing because less pressure, as well as just so many lakes. There's, like, I don't even know. Even Manitoba. Manitoba is one of the provinces in Canada, and there's 100,000 lakes in Manitoba itself. So people say, oh, there's 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. There's 10 times that in Manitoba. So there's just endless opportunities to fish. If you wanted to fish a lake I did the calculations. I think say there's 100,000 lakes, there's 365 days in a year. It would take you 273 years to fish every single lake.
Break your days down into thirds, maybe? Fourths?
Yeah, you're going to have to fish 4 lakes in one day. But I guess to answer your question about Canada, it's impressive how good the fishing is up there and how well maintained it is because of the DNR and the natural resources. They just really care about their lakes, which is cool.
Do you think it's different than the States?
I think each state is different. You go to Michigan, they've got it figured out.
Yeah.
They have the parks figured out. They have the natural resources figured out. Wisconsin, they're pretty good. Minnesota's pretty good. Illinois.
Yeah.
But like those lake trout you see we're catching out here in 240 feet of water, those fish will actually migrate in the winter, and they'll be within casting distance of the shoreline there.
Oh, really?
For very short amounts of time in very specific spots, but you could catch the fish that are out here in Chicago in the winter.
Do you ever do that?
Yeah. Done it a few times. Never videoed it. Just because I'm always scared of like showing spots or people burning stuff. But then there's other times where I'm so open with everything I'm doing just because I don't care and I want to, promote the sport of fishing and want more people to catch fish and want more people to get involved. But there's some little secret honey holes that I'm like, I want to keep that to myself, and maybe, one day.
Obviously, you talked about like the perks of kind of stepping away and keeping some time to yourself from content. So do you ever like miss anything about filming content and posting?
Very good question. I'm just thinking in my head right away. What jumps out is the consistency of knowing exactly what you want to do during the day. Like waking up and being like, my only job right now is to film a YouTube video is a great feeling because it gives you purpose, it gives you something to do, and you're making other people happy. And I'll lead on with that by saying, I miss like the fans and just making people happy and making people laugh. I think a lot of my content is based around my mistakes and based around me being goofy.
Yeah, like breaking your rods. All my guy friends are like, dude, I love Alex Peric freakouts.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I gotta go watch some of these. When you had the vest and you were like a park patrolman or something, or a security guard, and you're messing with people in a public pond.
Yes, LSD. We said we were the Louisville Safety Department.
That was so funny.
Like stuff like that when people come up to you and recognize a video from 2-3 years ago and you're like, oh, that made my day. That was like, made me laugh so hard. I miss that. But I also am like, oh, at least I put the content out there and I can relive some of those days that were just so amazing.
And you're also a Barstool fan too, which I didn't really realize. Like today we're talking about the Mitzi Dave drama. Well, I was like trying to explain it to Sean. You're like, oh yeah, I saw that on Twitter.
I think it's really hard not to follow Dave Portnoy as a person because he's so amazing, so like, what is that word? Were you contrarian? Maybe is the word. Where like he has a point of view, and you know his point of view, and he will let the opposing side know his point of view.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that about him. And ever since Barstool Sports, I wouldn't say started, but ever since I got on social media, it was always a follow for me.
When I got to the HQ in New York, I was like, okay, I don't really know all these people because I followed mostly Dave. And like I followed Barstool Sports as a whole. Now I know like the ins and outs, and I follow all the drama, and it's so like interesting to me.
The drama is awesome.
They're like my friends now, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
For sure.
Yeah.
Also, another one of Barstool's, I think, hits, obviously, was Call Her Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody at, like, college talked about Call Her Daddy, and I listened to, obviously, some of the podcasts, and when that drama went down, too, it was so interesting to follow it.
I didn't really listen to Call Her. I mean, I listened to some of it with my girlfriends who, like, are diehard fans, and so I obviously watched, like, the YouTube channel with the beef, like, each side. It was really intriguing, even though I didn't even watch the podcast. Like, it's just so cool. It gives us literally, like, it's like Jersey Shore vibes.
Except it's real.
It's real, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Alex, I feel like all your fans are in dire, like, need of an answer here, and so am I. So are you still a part of Googan Squad, or did you leave?
I never officially left, per se. I just kind of stopped wanting to go to the events, like the Googan Squad weeks and stuff like that, and I just took a step back, like, from everything. It wasn't just Googan Squad, it was YouTube, it was social media in general, and I don't really want to go back now, Like, I'm not saying that I would never make videos on the Googan Squad channel or be like a Googan or something like that. I feel like once you're a Googan, you're always a Googan.
Or do you think it was something that's like, okay, I've done my part at Googan, now it's time to move on?
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And I think I'm just, wanting to chill. Like, I'm only on this earth for a short amount of time, so I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I want to do.
Is it like more like, are you at peace with that too?
For sure. I feel good. I feel happy. I feel like I'm just starting to, like, live my life now. Like, at 25 years old, I feel like a lot of times I was doing stuff for other people, and now I'm just, like, doing what I want to do. So,
was there a specific time when you decided this? Like, okay, this happened, I need to take a step back. Or was it gradual? Like, you gradually started to take a step back?
I think one of the things was when I got kicked out of the warehouse, for sure. I was living in the back of the warehouse for free rent, because I didn't want to renew my apartment lease, so I just moved my stuff in there, and I was just, like, cooking, living in the back office just all the time. And our manager one day was like, Yeah, you can't live here anymore. You have to get out. And then I kind of just like gathered all my stuff up and moved back to Chicago, and then I never looked back after that. I think that would be the turning point.
That was the point where you're like, okay, yeah, I don't want to be here.
I mean, obviously, I probably shouldn't have been living in the warehouse, but it was kind of funny at the same time. Like nobody was living there. There was nothing going on, and there was all this empty space. So I'm like, oh, I'll just live here. Like the people are paying rent. I might as well. I mean, I was paying the rent. I was part of the company, so I might as well just live here. And it turned into, me getting kicked out, like I said. So.
And you saying, all right, see ya, smell you later.
Smell you later. I'm just gonna go to Chicago, move back in with my parents, move into the basement,
and still not pay rent.
It's still not pay rent.
I'm saving my money. I'm gonna show you guys.
I think the moral of the story is, if you have a free place for me to live, I'll probably end up there.
Yeah, bring him on up with the copper.
Bringing up the dinner bell here.
Got the copper on the end. What kind of bait were you using here?
Spoon.
Got a spoon on the end. It's probably shining, flicking. What, 200?
They always eat the spoon.
What was it, like about 150 feet down?
Something like that. Fly just got me right in the Adam's apple.
They're like horse flies.
They are so bad.
Our copper line's doing the best.
It always does the best.
That's the one that's been hit like 4 times.
If there's one rod I would suggest the people at home buy, it'd be a copper. It's the worst one to reel in. Oh, whoa. I also think that it gives off a hum in the water. I think it's thick, so I think that the fish get attracted to it.
Like a vibration?
Like a vibration, yep.
What fish that really does like get attracted? That made no sense. What fish? A fish that really is attracted to vibration, there we go, Sydnie, thank gosh, is silver carp, Asian carp in the river. Oh, Alex went with me before. That was when we first hung out. You came and we went in the river.
Yeah. And
we shot fish on the back of the boat. So silver carp, which is like super invasive in the Illinois River and in other rivers across the states, there are thousands and thousands in the river. And what happens is the motor, especially when there's a big motor on the back of a boat, but what will happen is...
Steelhead.
The steelhead?
Nut.
Wait, where's the net? Oh, it's right here. Oh shit.
Get him!
Wait, hold on. Let some line out. Got him.
We got him!
We got him! Steelhead!
We're taking him home.
Woo! We're potting and...
Catching.
That didn't rhyme. Potting and catching.
All right. Let's see this fish. Nice steelhead.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, big fish.
Roll the camera.
Oh, grab that.
Okay, sorry.
Hooked up. Oh, there it is, all the way out there.
Oh my gosh, look, Sean, all the way out there, see it?
Oh. Back up.
Oh shit. Oh, back up. Oh, shit. I'm gonna bring him in. 200 yards out. Tight line. Here we go. Reeling him in. We're potting and we're catching.
It's kind of like, it's like a pot of whales.
See, this is what I was hoping the whole day would be like. Was just like flat calm. We could actually think what's going on. No storms rolling through and fish on. But
I'm already tired.
Well, don't say that. You're only on 3 colors. We got a 10 color lead core out.
Shut the heck up. My shoulders are tired. Switch sides.
No! What was that? Whoa! Rainbow trout, adios. Quick release.
That was Alex's fault.
I did not touch the line. I did not touch the rod. Look at this spoon. This is a beautiful spoon. Hooks, sharp.
Sharp hooks.
Somebody didn't keep the line tight.
Tight lines are not tight. No tight lines. You could probably hear me 15 seconds earlier saying, keeping the line tight. And then I said, I'm going to switch arms or switch hips. And then it spit it, and I'm a schmuck.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, obviously, when we met, it was through social media. I DM'd you on Instagram.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people connect you with your father. Like, they're like, oh, the reason why I watch you is because you were on your father's outdoor channel or this. Like, I found you, I didn't know who your father was. I just found you through social media.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes you have to live up to that, like, outdoor channel, like, Wells vibe, or?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, before Barstool, I was super struggling with that because everybody knew me as Tim Wells' daughter. Not everybody, but a good percentage. They followed me. They watched me grow up on the Relentless Pursuit. They watched me with my dad. And, like, I wanted to prove to myself that, like, I'm my own person almost. Which I didn't really have to prove to myself, but I wanted a different outlet. So, which is when Barstool came along. It definitely has changed my fan base entirely. Like, at first, it did, like, bother me. A lot of people kind of associated with me with my dad, which nothing is wrong with that because my dad is a superstar. He's amazing at what he does. He's the best in the game. I learned a lot from him, but now that I'm with Barstool and I do my own thing and I travel by myself, me and Sean, just traveling. Sean's my producer for anybody watching, and just us two. It's like actually really nice and super fulfilling because I plan my own trips. I book where we're going. I call people. I message people on Instagram or socials or whatever, and that's how I go on my adventures, and it's all by myself. And obviously I still go with my dad sometimes too, and I still call him for advice, still call him for connections. But now I finally have grown my own, like, personal fan base. Like,
For sure.
it's so nice. It's so dang fulfilling because I like having both. Because I really appreciate my fans who have watched me grow up with my dad, and they love seeing us together. And then I love the fans that have probably no idea who my dad is or have known who my dad is because of me. So it's like the opposite now. So that's fulfilling. I like wanted to make my own name. That was the biggest thing. I didn't want to be Tim Wells' daughter. I wanted to be Sydnie Wells. Like, I'm really happy about that. And also, like, the outdoor industry is great, but I can be more of myself. I love the Outdoor Sportsman's channel, but it's so nice to be on YouTube and be with Barstool because I can seriously be my own self.
Yeah.
I can mess up. I can cuss. I can talk about really whatever I want, and nobody's gonna care. So I don't know. I like it. It's pretty cool. I was definitely been reserved for a long time and always scared of, like, how to act or what to say or what to do. And now I definitely have come out of my shell and not been like that anymore. But yeah, I just wanted to make my own name for myself, and I feel like I've done that, and I'm still trying to learn how to do that. I'm like 24 years old. I still have such a long way, and he's been such a good educator, and it's taught me so much about hunting and fishing that I'm, like, so happy for him to be my dad. But yeah, now it's Sydnie Wells and Sydnie Wells and Tim Wells, not Tim Wells and his daughter Sydnie.
Yeah.
So that feels good.
That.
You know what I mean? That's what I wanted.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Hopefully, a fish can interrupt us here before we end this beautiful podcast. This was filmed over a 6-hour time period.
Yeah, we had a little bit of an intermission with the rain, but this was kind of fun. It was honestly chaotic and not organized.
Yeah, we had no plan, but sometimes that's the best.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 1 of question mark. If you have any ideas on what we should name the pod, what we should do with it, and any questions for Alex and I, please comment below. We're super curious, and if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for listening to podcasts featuring Alex and Sydnie.
Thank you, guys. I had a blast. Yeah, hopefully you guys are still staying tuned for this long into the podcast. Please comment below what you guys thought about the podcast, and if you have any questions, concerns, or topics you'd like us to discuss next time. If this goes well and you guys enjoy it, we're gonna do another one. So we need your guys' feedback, and we need that kind of reassurance that this was enjoyable to watch, even though my face is not as enjoyable to watch as Sydnie. So
Yeah, and it was a little chaotic. Chaos is our middle name.
Chaos is my middle name.
Shit, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, and if you're watching this and you want to partner with us, give us a holler.
Slide in those DMs. Just don't send hearts and rosies and kisses and you're sexy.
Yeah.
Send that money.
Slide into the DMs. The DMs are open, and so is our email at barstooloutdoors@barstoolsports.com.
I have so much fish.
Really? We should have a fish fry.
Let's do it.
I think the guys would be freaked out about it. Did you ever hear about the story about how White Sox Dave gave me food poisoning?
No.
It was venison. He cooked venison that they left out on their back porch.
And he let you eat it?
And the cold, it was cold outside, so they decided to just leave it outside. and then in a freezer.
That's disgusting.
I got food poisoning. My doctor asked if I was pregnant because I was so sick. I was like, I'm not pregnant. If I was pregnant, I'm gonna die.
I got so wet so quick.
That's what she said.
Nice.